Hey guys, it's been a few weeks since we've done this whole vlog thing. I don't know if you remember a few videos back, we were talking about transition and the big transition myself, my wife, and my family were going through. Well, we finally kind of made it to the end of that transition and we are now back in Lakeland, Florida, our hometown, new house. Everything's great, a new studio, still kind of unpacking and unboxing everything, but this is kind of the space we're going to be operating in for a little while. Painted it black, hopefully it looks good. Got some furniture that'll hopefully come in the next week or so, so we're going to kind of spruce up the studio here. But when we were looking for houses, we were specifically looking for a place where I could have my own kind of office studio and we could really make it nice and really start to focus on making more of this content for you guys. So a tour of the house and everything will come up soon, I'm sure, as soon as it's presentable and everything's out of boxes. We'll be sure to show you guys where we're staying and what it looks like, and I'm sure you'll see more of the house as we begin to do more of these videos. But anyway, enough about that. What we're really here to talk about today is kind of a refocusing, a readjusting, if you will. I've only had this channel for a little over 6 months now. I think we started in November of last year. I'm filming this I think we're in June, almost July now. And so, had this channel for a little over 6 months. The response has been awesome. There's been some highs, and the response you guys have been giving and the comments and all the views, that's been awesome. And then if you also go to the comment section in some of the videos, you can see some of the lows where people are not necessarily stoked about what I'm saying and what I'm doing. And that's to be expected anytime you put yourself out there in social media or just, the internet in general. So being that we've been at this for about 6 months or so, I was thinking with all this transition, really starting to put money into a studio and really trying to figure out what we want to do, I realized I never really said to you guys what the point of all this was. Now, I know a lot of YouTubers get out there and they'll do reviews or they'll have their own channel about cooking or whatever, or you might even see other Christian vloggers or Christian YouTubers who have their own channel, and all that is great, all that is fine, and I'm sure that they have a vision, or maybe they started out with the vision at first, but at some point, most content creators are just making content for the sake of making more content, getting more views, getting more subscribers, and then hopefully being able to monetize their channel and make a little bit of money off of it, so maybe they can quit their job or maybe only work it part-time and this becomes their thing. I'm still undecided whether I want this to be my thing or not, and I think it's way too early on to tell if this is gonna catch on, if we're gonna do anything with it, but what I did want to talk about today is really setting the vision for this channel, what it's all about, and I don't want to get stuck in the rut of just creating content for the sake of creating content. Now, I would like to try to put out a video every week, and hopefully now that most of our transition is over, that will be possible, especially now having a set studio space where we're going to be able to operate, just flick a couple lights on, and boom, the camera's running. So hopefully we'll be able to keep up with that. But the idea isn't just to create more content. There's actually a vision that I started off with, and then I think that's become more clear over the past couple of months. So over the past month or so, I would say COVID into the protest and the Black Lives Matter and George Floyd and all of that, this has kind of been a sequence of maybe 60 days or so that's really got me thinking, got my wheels turning, but also I've noticed that quite a few of you have reached out to me, whether it's on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, or whatever. You've reached out to me with some comments, with some questions, and I realized there's a lot of people out there thinking the same thing and wondering a lot of the same things. Now, some of the things we've been talking about on this channel, I've been kind of chewing on for years and really trying to build a firm foundation of what I believe theologically and maybe the biggest differences from, say, just average typical Christianity that I've really been pushing back against. What you guys have been seeing for the past 6 months has been kind of an amalgamation or a collection of all these ideas starting to process and come out in a way that's hopefully digestible for you. So like I said, over the past couple of months, you guys have been reaching out to me, sharing your ideas, sharing your opinions, asking questions, and it's been awesome. And I realized there's been a common thread between most people that I'm interacting with via this YouTube channel or social media. And that common thread seems to be that the church isn't really living up to what people's expectation of it was supposed to be. And I'm not talking about the pastor preaching a sermon or the worship team or not even necessarily the community events that the church does. I'm talking about the overall idea of the church. The There's a pretty good spectrum of those of you I've been talking to. Some of you have grown up in church your entire life and you got used to a system, you got used to kind of the ecosystem of the church that they built, and then maybe now in your 20s or 30s you're starting to question things and saying, hey, is this actually what it's all about? Is this what Jesus would want for the church and for me today? And then there are other people who've reached out to me who said, I know almost nothing about Christianity, almost nothing about the church. I wasn't raised in it, but everything I've heard about this guy, Jesus, and then what I see the church doing, they don't line up. And so regardless of where these people kind of land on the spectrum, the one thing that they're saying to me that I've had a strong feeling about for a while now, for years, is that something is wrong with the church. And I don't want to boil it down too much. To say that something is wrong might be kind of a misstatement. There are multiple things wrong with the church, but it is causing people to finally put the church under a microscope and say, hey, can we fix this? Can we do better? So the overall vision of this channel is to address that question. Whether you've been a Christian for 20, 30 years of your life, or you're brand new to this and it doesn't make sense to you, this channel, the goal is to sift through Christianity, modern day 2020 Christianity, and say, is this who Jesus is? Is this what he would want? And do my belief system push me towards being more like him? Or am I caught in a religious system that is telling me never to question it? And if you can tell, I'm having a really hard time not getting on a soapbox right now and kind of going off on a tangent, because I think we really need to spend time with each video breaking down specific parts and points of issues that the church has and what we can do to make it better. But I really just wanted to take the time in this video, while we're transitioning, while we're trying to get everything up and running, to talk about the idea and the vision of this channel is to push back against bad Christianity, to push back against bad religion. If you've been a Christian for any amount of time, you've maybe heard the expression, the cross you want to die on. Is this the cross you really want to die on? Is this the thing you really want to fight with and that you're known for? And a lot of times, for me, the answer's been, no, I don't want to die on that cross. That's not really worth it. There's a lot of things that we can stand up for, get angry about, and make our platform. But I think a lot of times we have to ask ourselves, is that the cross I want to die on? Is that the thing I want to bear? Is that the thing I'm going to walk with my entire life? And no matter what, I believe in this so strongly that even if it costs me my reputation, I'm willing to walk this because I believe in it. For most of my life, I've had a bunch of issues with the church. I've had a lot of things go on in my life. And I realized the answer to that question for me was, no, that's not really the cross I want to die on. That's not the thing in 10 years I'll probably still be passionate about. However, this YouTube channel is really starting to come into shape because this is the cross I want to die on. This is the thing I can imagine myself being passionate about for the next 10, 20, 30, 50 years if I'm still around and making videos. Bad religion kills people. Bad Christianity pushes people away from Jesus. I've heard some Christians say to me before, yeah, but the church is made of unperfect people, so we just got to be okay with it and just let things slide. And it's almost been used as an excuse to just sweep the issues under the rug. And while I understand that the church is made of people and that it may never reach perfection, we are far from hitting that mark. And I think it's time that the church and the people inside of it, and maybe even the people outside of it, began to get critical and begin to think critically about where the church is in 2020. Are we following Jesus, or are we just doing things because we were taught that this is the way it is? So I hope that gives you a little bit clearer idea of when we break down certain topics on the Bible, when we break down certain verses, certain things, when we talk about what's happening in the world, when we talk about the church in each one of these videos, know that the goal is to put another brick, to lay another brick in the foundation of what is good Christianity? Who is Jesus? Am I actually following him, or am I just following Christianity blindly because I've been taught never to question it? This is the cross I am willing to die on. I understand that some of you watching it right now might be saying, whoa, this guy's way off, and maybe you're already upset at me, and that's totally fine. That's why I say that this is the thing I can see myself being passionate about, because I understand it's going to upset a lot of people, but I also understand, just having very few conversations with you guys, that it's also something that has been turning in the wheels of a lot of people's brains lately, because you're coming to me and you're saying, dude, I was thinking the same thing. It's crazy that there's other people out there feeling this way. It's not crazy. In fact, what I'm learning is there's this undercurrent of Christianity of people who feel the way that I do, that feel the way maybe you do, but maybe it's time we create an atmosphere and a place to have open discussions so we can think critically about where the church is today and what we can do to help course correct and fix it. So I know we really didn't dive deep into anything crazy today, and we didn't go into scripture or talk about any one specific topic. I just wanted to give you guys a little bit more insight about what this channel is and where we're going in the future. I'm gonna try to spice it up. We're not just gonna stay in the studio. I am gonna try to get outside, maybe interview some pastors, talk to some people out in the community, travel a little bit if I can to get out there and talk to more of you. This obviously does cost money, and it's something that we are about to put a lot of effort and energy into. So I would encourage you, get on the comments when we start making these videos. Post your ideas, post your opinions. It's not just about me talking to you through a microphone. It's about us interacting on the comments, on Facebook, on Instagram, so we can start bringing awareness to some of these issues, because if nothing changes, nothing changes. It sounds stupid, it sounds so simple, but it's true. If the church is so afraid to change that they don't do anything, we will be living in the same Christianity in 10 years that we are living in today. The Christianity that maybe you have so many issues with, your children will grow up in. I'm not okay with that. I know there are a lot of you out there who aren't okay with that. So let's make this the place, the jumping off point to where we say, we've had enough, we're drawing a line in the sand, and this was the point where we started to having open discussions about how we change the church and how we bring Jesus back to the forefront, and how love becomes the biggest indicator of who we are, because it's who he was. I don't want to ramble anymore. I hope you guys get what I'm saying. It's been awesome. Thank you for everybody who's been supporting the channel up to this point. We're gonna keep going. I hope you have a great day, stay safe, and we will be doing more of these videos soon. See ya.